Welcome back to Tabletop Assault. I'm Ross.
I'm Will.
And today we're going to be doing something slightly different. So we've been doing this 2 years now, sort of bringing in content, battle reports, kill teams. We've now got 8th edition kill team as well, tactical talks and a whole bunch of other stuff. And one thing we haven't really done before is maybe introduce us as people.
Yeah, exactly.
So to get a bit more idea about us, so you have an idea of what we, how we know each other. I think that's one thing we're going to talk about. How, specifically in this one, we're going to speak about how me and Will met, our history with sort of wargaming, specifically Games Workshop stuff, because we've played that quite predominantly through our lives, and a few other questions that we felt it will give us a bit more personality and a bit more idea on us in general.
Yeah.
So, we might go into future ones where there will be other ones with various members of our channel.
Think of it as our Chatrep, if you like.
Chatrep. If that stays on well, then fair enough. If you've just named it there, because we hadn't thought of a name before. So I think for the most, to begin with, we'll talk about how me and Will met. We met, I think, about 10 years ago.
Indeed.
It was about November 10 years ago, 2008. We both worked in quite, well, you were working at the time, and I went in working in a fairly big sort of video game retailer company. Won't name which one, but it's the big one. And basically we sold video games together. And we solved
the dream.
The dream. And we worked there from about 2008 together till 2013 when I left.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, and we worked quite a lot together. We were both studying at the time, so we hung out sometimes, but we didn't really hang out that much until probably 3 or so years later. I think probably the summer that we probably got to know each other most was probably 2012.
I think so, yeah.
We started, so what came out was my flatmate at the time, Ewan, who has been on the channel for a while.
Sure has. Big Viking looking dude.
Yeah. Huge beard. He's currently in Canada fighting something. I think he's, in a Ultimate Fighting Championship. I don't know. I really don't know.
Wrestling Grizzlies or something.
Something like that, he's up the hills, that's as far as I'm aware. And basically he introduced me to the Game of Thrones board game. And everyone in our store was like into Game of Thrones. And I was like, oh, this is a really cool board game. I don't know, the people I was studying with wasn't sort of their thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, I asked the guys, hey, you guys like Game of Thrones, you've heard of the books and the TV show.
Yeah.
Do you like board games? And I remember one of the guys' reaction was, he was like, no, this is pretty late. Like, he was like, I don't play board games. However, we had everyone round to come around and play that, and it sort of exploded from there.
Absolutely did.
Yeah, so I think it was come back. So this was probably about 4 years after we met each other. We're working together quite regularly. We'd go on nights out, but then we started, watching the TV show every week, and then we'd end up playing the game just about every week as well. We think we took like one day we'd watch the show. Then the next week, the same week, we'd play the board game.
It's probably worth mentioning, just whilst we're here, if you've never played that game, play it. Oh my word, you'll find out who your friends are and who aren't, seriously.
We built some almighty rivalries in that game, just between sort of on a storefront, because we all worked sort of part-time, so we never got a chance to really get to spend time together.
Yeah, exactly. But what a finer way to, get to know each other than backstabbing and betrayals.
Oh, so
fantastic.
So much backstabbing in that game. And so from there we got a bit more closer in terms of friendship in that one. And then I think we then ended up going to Games Workshop one day, and we're like, oh, we'll try this out. And I think Ewan did an intro game with us, and I know you already still had a bit of a history about it, because I'd seen you reading the books on your lunch break.
Yes.
I saw you reading Horus Heresy. I was like, oh, okay.
So I was a massive fan of the books, more so than the game, but the main reason I was more of the books was because I never had anyone to play the games with.
Oh really?
Yeah, well, I've got all my friends sports and the rest of it, so I am the black sheep, if you like, of that particular group.
That's so different to my friends.
Yeah, so when I met you, I was like, Someone.
Board games!
Board games!
Convention board games! And then you were the most difficult person at Game of Thrones. Oh my word.
That is my game.
That is 100% your game, and I just remember that, as you said, you'll find out who your friends are. Oh my word!
Well, what was my nickname?
Oh, we'd call you Littlefinger because you were
Littlefinger.
just. You play everyone against each other. The best one I remember was one of our friends. You set up a total alliance, and he was going for basically winning the game. You're like, well, can I count on your alliance in this? And you went, no.
Oh yes, he built himself up in the look of betrayal.
And just not having that support, that everyone at the table was just like, oh my, and his hopes just came crashing down.
I was clean shaven at that point, so I didn't have any mustache to twiddle at that time, but my word, it was a mustache twiddled kind of time.
Oh,
it was fantastic. So yeah, definitely try that out as well. But yeah, before I met you, didn't really get any models. I read the books because I loved the lore. Yeah, I mean, I painted a few like Space Marines, but that was just, I never got to play it, so I was just like, I can't keep buying these and painting them and never actually use them. So when I actually met you, and you were like, let's play games and all the rest of it, sort of spurred my interest to get back into the hobby. So I would say I'm quite a casual gamer, but the more and more that you guys wanted to play it and talk to me about it, even about the lore of Games Workshop's, you know, Fantasy 40k, that got me more and more interested. So then in turn, you know, I ended up buying more and more models and I could actually physically paint. So
well, I'm sorry about that one.
Yeah, you cost me a fortune.
Yeah, I know how much an investment it is. So that means you probably didn't really. So we started about 2012 or something. I moved back to Glasgow. Does that mean you probably didn't play as much until? Because then you sort of met David and another one of our friends.
Yeah.
And so did you not play so much until then? Because then we got really into probably about 2013, 14.
No, I mean, I only played casually with you guys every now and again.
Yeah.
But this is way before the channel even started, and even then, because you were in Glasgow, I live in Edinburgh, it was too hard to play regularly, so I only got like a game maybe once a month, if that.
Yeah.
So
I should say I moved away from Edinburgh to Glasgow in 2013. I'm from Glasgow, but then I moved back, etc., etc. So yeah, I don't know. I thought you played at an earlier age. I played a long time ago.
I think out of the gaming experience on the channel between me, you, David, and Rob, I'm probably the noob.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, man. Not a lot of gaming experience on my end. So,
yeah, so I'll go into mine because mine are long. So I got introduced to it by Ewan.
Yeah.
I've known Ewan since we were about 5 or 6, so going past the 2-decade mark. I knew he was really into this stuff, and I had no idea. He had all these, like, I remember at the time it was Necrons. He was like, oh, these are new models, and I was like, what models? What did they do?
Yeah.
And he was like, explain to me. I was like, I don't get it. And I think for my 13th birthday, my parents got me an Imperial Sentinel model, metal. I've still got it, still not built it, which is kind of standard me.
Yeah.
You know, that's going on a long time. So they got me that, and then they were like, oh yeah, we know your friend Ewan plays it sometimes. Why don't you go along and go with him? And Ewan was like, here's all this stuff. And so I was about 13 at the time, and the army that I first collected, and it was in the Starbucks time, was Dark Eldar.
Yeah.
The problem was no one told me how tricky Dark Eldar were.
It's not a good starting faction. Yeah, you can be quite unforgiving. So
yeah.
Well done for braving that.
Yeah. Not long after, I could be wrong, maybe a year afterwards, they brought up Tau, and then Ewan collected Tau, and I had some epic games against that as well. But I was like, oh man, Dark Eldar, this is a tricky one. You know, so I got into Dark Eldar. Then I believe that then it was it was 2001, so I might have been younger, and I think that's when Lord of the Rings came out. The game and obviously the movies. I absolutely fell in love with that. You know, I played Moria Goblins, played that a lot, and I played a wee bit of 40k, and then Two Towers came out, I played Rohan, and then Return of the King came out, and I played Minas Tirith.
Yeah.
But then the campaigns is where I played quite a lot. So when Eye of Terror campaign came out, and that was the big sort of one in 2000, and I want to say 3 or 2, one of them. And that was, I played Lost and Damned, so I was playing a lot in the shop at the time, a lot of the shop as a kid, and I then bought like a Lost and Damned army. I had loads of zombies, which was like no codex for it, it was ITR campaign one. Me standard, I was like, zombies, go! And
I do remember playing against you with your zombies, running out of zombies and having to write down how many zombies you had.
That was a fantasy game.
Yeah.
And I didn't kill my wizards, and I just went, cool. I had about 120 zombies, and I ran out. I had to end up writing on a paper.
No, this is how many more you've got to dig through. It's like, oh!
Yeah, that was a good game. And so I had them in 4K. I had Lehman Russ's, that were in a Defiler, just came out at the time. I loved it, it was great. And then I did Storm of Chaos, and I played Beastmen. And I absolutely loved Fantasy at the time. I absolutely loved Fantasy. I thought it was such a good game. Really enjoyed that. One of the best games was I beat one of my opponents where he played Warriors of Chaos with Mark Korn. I played Zinch and Beastmen, and I wiped him off the field without losing a single wound, and he's never forgiven me since then, which was a bit harsh. But during all that time I knew Eowyn, I knew David, we played together all that time as well, and it was about 2005 I think I stopped playing, give or take a year or two, and I then got into my studies, went to uni, came to Edinburgh, did my studies and everything, and it was only when we sort of got lightly into it, and then I came back to Glasgow, and obviously I was still friends with David, and David was like, oh cool, you're back into 40k. Whoom! He was like, play me every week. David was like, let's play this. So it was about 4 of us, and we played quite a lot, and I played mainly Dark Elder when the new models came out. So when we started, I heavily got into Dark Elder. Like, I spent an absolute fortune on the new models because they were such an improvement, and they were really, really cool. So that's sort of my history in terms of that, because then we started playing together. We were playing sort of big games, medium games, and
it's probably worth just saying straight off the cuff, if you're wondering why Dark Elder aren't on the channel, even though Ross is heavily a fan, Ross does have the models, but because they're so flimsy, they've had years of beatings.
Yeah, so when they
falling apart.
They've fallen apart quite badly. I need to buy some more protection. I need to get a lot of raiders. And the other thing as well, when we chose the armies to get built, I need a lot of repairs on that. When we started the channel, we got, I think, 6 armies painted. Dark Elder were still not the most competitive in 7th. Now it breaks my heart more than anything
to see how much love they're starting to get now.
Like, it is on the mind for projects. I've waited, so I've been playing since 2001. That can't be simple. Maybe 2001, give or take. I've been waiting to play Dark Elder. I mean, I've played Dark Elder, and I was super sneaky with Dark Elder. Like, I did some crazy.
Oh, I've played against you, Ross. I know.
Yeah, so because of mobility and everything, I was doing some good stuff. But now they're like really got a bigger chance more than ever. So it is on my to-do list. But then again, so is Death Guard. Yeah, there's quite a few. But you know, I absolutely love Dark Elder, and I hope to get a chance to play them in 8th. And get behind them, but
we'll get there, man. We will get there.
I need to replace
we'll get it sorted.
all the raiders. I need to buy a lot of. I need to buy so many stuff to get that going.
Think what I feel, Ross. I play 2 Horde armies.
Oh yeah, you play guard. You play
guard,
and orcs.
And bear in mind, before we started on the channel, I didn't actually have a force of these guys.
No.
So. You know, I actually had to get those sorted out for the channel.
Yeah.
And I love painting to a certain extent. I love painting like unique models, you know, with a bit of detailing and this and that.
Yeah.
I really can't hack painting Horde armies, and I chose orcs and Clang off. So that is boys all the way, and after about the 20th or 30th boy, realising you still got another like 90 to go.
Your mind just melts.
Yeah, it really does.
As opposed to me, I am just, I can't paint. I'm so bad at it. I will one day learn, but that day is not, well, obviously today, but you know, you keep saying to me, Ross, you should learn to paint. I'm like, I can't, it's too much pressure.
I can't even pull off the whole, oh yeah, it's very therapeutic, man, you know, to pick, because for some folks, painting will be very therapeutic, and I hate those people, because it's not like that for me. It is a very aggressive, internally personal affair, really, of my wife. You know, she'll end up just hearing all these curses, and she realizes, you know, it's not football, it's not sports, it's me painting a tiny little model. So it's pretty crazy.
So yeah, that's probably a bit more, you know, an explanation on sort of how we met. You know, obviously we're working together, and then obviously we, you know, sounds like I lured you into sort of war gaming sort of side. I partly blame David because he then reignited my interest in it hugely. And yeah, and where our beginning is, I thought you played beforehand. I did not know that. I knew you read the books, but I didn't realise you never actually.
No.
played.
Like before we started filming on the channel, barely played, man. Wow. You know, I had a few games with Richard, but you know, that was far and few between. So again, barely any games, buddy. And then onto the channel I came. So that's why I'm saying
every time all you do is play games.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, you know, to folks, if you're watching the Batreps and you see me do stuff wrong, or you've got any tips or suggestions for me, I'm actually being serious, because ultimately, even though I've been playing on channel for about a year and a half.
We've been doing this nearly 2 years.
2 years,
I think 2 years at the end of this year.
Yeah, so you know, it's still relatively new, because even then, I only tend to play when it's been filmed.
Yes.
So
well, we do film a lot. Like it's
man.
We film a lot, so it's a majority of our games are filmed.
So you're actually witnessing someone learning the hobby as he plays. So.
It's only taken you 2 years.
It has, but hey, it's like, how many Batreps do I do?
Yeah.
So I've done a fair few, but they're all learners. All learning while playing. But yeah, we've got plenty of projects that we're hoping to see come forward. Yeah,
so future ones we've got, Tyrannid, Death Guard, all these sort of stuff as well. But what we want to focus on is, what do we like? So the two options we've got on the next question we're going to go is, what do we want to see in terms of Games Workshop stuff? What do you want to see, like, in terms of like their progression? Do you want to see, you know, a lot of people obviously talk about Primarchs. Do you want to see more Primarch moving? Right, well, Blood Angels, good luck with that one.
Sanguinius is coming back.
Yeah, good luck with that one, well. You know, do you want to see Primarchs going forward? Do you want to see new factions? Do you want to see more campaign stuff? Because obviously we're coming to the end of the codexes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of speculation of what might come after the codexes. You know, I think there's only 3 left, 2 left.
Yeah, well, we've got, what, Space
Wolves, Orcs, and Genestealer Cult.
Yeah.
Sister Battle at the start, well, sometime in 2019. Rumours of other stuff, maybe an Ari, but the majority is Orcs, Space Wolves, and Genestealer Cult are the like confirmed ones this year. What are they going to do afterwards?
I'd quite like to see more focus on the Sisters of Battle. They only got like.
Well, they've been announced to get a full codex and a complete overhaul.
Oh really?
Yeah, at the start of the year 2019, they're spending a year in it. No, it's a full overhaul.
Wow.
As far as I'm aware. Like,
I definitely want to see those ladies get onto the battlefield, essentially. Like, I like the original models, but I thought they need more detail and they need more variety.
The Repentant machines, I can't remember what they're called, but like there's some really cool, like some of the, when they were like Witch Hunter sort of stuff, there was some really cool stuff that they came out with for Sister Battle. So I'm very intrigued what they can do with them.
Well, you've got Celeste, you know.
Yes.
So she's a great faction leader, and you know, the fact is that they're okay. Like their rules are okay so far, but
they came out in indexes. They were actually pretty solid.
Yeah.
They were pretty not bad, and then codexes came out. They did better. But
there's only one codex that I truly care about.
Yeah,
it's my Orcs.
The Orcs.
Won that codex.
Well, I know that's what you want to see. It's coming.
It's coming.
They keep telling us, and it will be here soon. So that'll be exciting to see. What about? I'm always nervous to bring up Primarchs. What would you like to see now? We know Sanguinius. He's down for the count. I'd love to see Connor Kurz.
Is he though? Is he down for the count?
Is he?
Is he though?
Well, out of the ones that are either missing or not had a beating down from other people, you know, what would you like to see? You know, I actually genuinely don't know. You keep going on about Sanguinius, and we keep going, well, you know.
You do, but I'm pretty sure he's in a stasis field, and correct me on this, please, but I'm pretty sure he's in some sort of golden sarcophagus, which kind of acts as maybe a stasis field for him.
He's in a sarcophagus, but I think it's a sarcophagus.
A sarcophagus that could bring him back to life. Games Workshop.
Yeah.
Nah, to be honest, I would love to see Sanguinius come back. However,
the model would be awesome because with Celeste's model, I think, is a really cool one. The wings, huge wings on Sanguinius would be awesome.
I would love it, but at the same token, one of the things that I love about the Blood Angels and Sanguinius' story in general is that they're so selfless and noble. You know, this guy essentially he knew his outcome, he knew his fate, and he took it like a man and just went with it. And it's just like, you know, let's face it, if you had foresight and you knew you were going to get caned, you'd probably be like, I'm not going up there. I'm not going on that battle barge, you kidding? You're going to get killed.
Conrad Kerr's the most insane of the debatably of the Primarchs, saw his own death. I think he was the only one.
Yes, but he's insane, Ross.
Or was he?
You'd have to be insane.
Or was he? He was like, I see my death, I'm going to do all my crazy stuff. And so he actually did see his death, and he was like, it's okay, my death proves a point that's never really illustrated.
I like the way Games Workshop are going. Like, I like the fact that they're pushing the story along, because it was starting to stagnate a bit. You know, there was just a constant fighting, we get it, there is fighting in the galaxy, but now it's a case of, it's almost like the end times, but not to the same extent.
Well, Age of Sigmar is so yeah, End Times pushed the story way forward in fantasy and then ended it, spoiler.
Yep.
Is it? And you know, Age of Sigmar is well known for pushing its story forward. I believe with now 2nd edition Age of Sigmar, they've pushed it even further forward after Millennium Potence, I think that's it. And so they've taken Age of Sigmar, and it is a running narrative, it moves forward, and I think they are, certainly with some of the Codex stuff they release, they move forward with the storyline quite extensively. So it is nice to see them now go beyond and understand that the story is really awesome. Keep going. Keep going.
Absolutely. The fact that we've actually got Primarchs coming back from the warp and all the rest of it. There's always been talk, and it's in the books. You know, Magnus controlling the Thousand Suns, but you never actually seen him on the tabletop. And is this great character that is still alive in the universe. So, and it's the same with all the other Primarchs that are alive, you know, bringing them back. What I would like to see is, obviously we've got a few traitor Primarchs.
Got two.
Yep, but you know there's going to be more.
Oh, absolutely. I want Porter Rabble. Like, I'm a huge Porter Rabble fan. I think like a machine Greer demon sort of thing would be pretty awesome. That's what I would like to see, but I play a lot of the traitors. I think I'm the only one on the channel who does not play a loyalist Space Marine Force.
Well, I'm loyalist through and through, mainly because
well, you don't play a traitor one at all.
I don't play the traitors at all, because they're a bunch of dirty traitors, right? No, man, that's your bros, and you can't backstab them. Like, come on, man.
Well, it happens.
No way, man, that can't happen. But yeah, so the only heretic Primarch, only traitor that I would actually get behind would be Fulgrim.
Alright, okay.
So I would probably get behind him. Call it pleasure, man.
Cool. Well, there's a lot of talk about Fulgrim. He has appeared rumoured in codexes.
Little like sort of snippets of potentially something there.
And with Gulman coming back, he'd be like, oh, I stabbed him already. That needs to be put down. So, you know, on the Primarch side, you know, I know your dreams for Sanguinius, but Fulgrim, interesting one.
I might be able to get on board with Fulgrim.
Yeah.
Would like to see more loyalists. Obviously, we've got potentially Leman Russ.
Yeah.
Then we've got the Lion. Yeah. So those two potentially, because I'd love to. Well, obviously we've had some of the 13th come back.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to see what crazy shenanigans might have happened to him.
What the warp does to a loyalist could be interesting.
Yeah, so I'd quite like to see that story arc. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, it'd be really good. See how another loyalist Primarch, especially Gulman, taking such a forefront with the storyline. It'd be really nice to see what another loyalist goes.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I have a different opinion, and I'd like to see a bit more of that conflict within the Imperium of just in terms of opinions. I mean, like, if you read any of the Horus Heresy stuff, the brothers did not get on. Whether they're all loyalists at the time, but let's face it, Mortarion did not get on with anyone. And so it was kind of like there's still always those factions. Nice to see that infighting.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I do love the fact that Games Workshop are pushing things forward. Definitely want to see more of that. I'm sure everybody does. In terms of another faction altogether, to be honest, I'd be worried if they were going to release another faction. Mainly because of Age of Sigmar.
Right, okay.
So with Age of Sigmar, I love the models. Don't get me wrong, I think Games Workshop are doing a great job. I think they're releasing so many nice, great models. It was the shark riding elves that sort of took me back a bit.
I know with Deepkin.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were...
Sharknado!
I remember you saying that joke. They pushed it out there with those ones. I mean, I love the sort of Age of Sigmar stuff. I think that's really cool. I think there's loads of potential for some different forces coming out of Age of Sigmar. That'll be awesome. How that'll work in 40k, I don't know.
Space Dwarves.
Oh well, yeah, squats.
Man, squats! Get the squats back. We want to see more of them.
The squat clock did break. You know, they did bring one back in Necromunda.
Oh really?
Did you not know this?
No.
You've got a squat bounty hunter. I think it's Forge World. There's a squat bounty hunter.
I'd be behind that. You can bring back the squats.
Yeah, they did a very good video on like his break. The squat clock's fallen. They brought back a one. So
just one guy.
One, because I know in Fantasy you played dwarves, so
yeah.
That'd be a good one. That one. In terms of what I would like to see, Games Workshop. I mean, I'd like to see a little bit more now that they've completed the codexes. I'd like to see them more focused back on sort of armies that have been brought out. Mainly get some of the older models redone. I would love if they did like a year of characters. I think I've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Year of characters where they basically redo some of the older characters. So, Gazgo Thraka, everyone wants a new model of that. But if they had like a month of Space Marine, now Space Marines have a lot of characters. Some are old, some are new. But they've got like Blood Angels. Month of like Space Marines, and they do like 1 week where all the Blood Angel models got redone. That'd be awesome. Dark Elder need characters. They need characters.
Yeah.
Absolute Vect. So you'd have like a month of Elder where they bring out, redo the models for Elder, bring some for Dark Elder, maybe another one for Yannari, and then like a 2 or 3 months of Xenos, where orcs would get like it'd be cool to have like a mech orc special character. You know, Tyranids. I think there's a few there as well. Just nice to see some of the older characters, because characters are now very much in 40k.
Oh yeah, they're really important.
They're really
force multipliers, aren't they? So.
Yeah, so it'd be really nice to see them get, because the models that Games Workshop are doing are phenomenal. So I'd like to see them do like those characters, bring them a bit more to life. You know.
I know what you mean. Like, see, in terms of for example, the Blood Angels. Obviously, I've got Blood Angels characters now. Quite a lot of them are the old sort of resin models or the old metal models.
Yeah.
And in terms of the newer models that are coming out, they're not quite the same size. So you've got Dante that looks tiny in comparison to like the Sanguinary Guard.
Well, you see a Primaris next to him, you know.
Exactly, he looks really small, so it's not done to the same scale. Don't get me wrong, the model was great, and I've got the model. I've got all the models.
Got all the models.
I've got all the models. But no, I would like to see them get revamped. Mephiston especially. I've seen some great conversions by folks for Mephiston, even Dante. There was one of Dante like flying through the air and he had like scrolls all about it. It looked absolutely phenomenal. The guy did an amazing job on it. And it just sort of made me look at my Dante model and I was like, oh, I can't bring myself to convert, not now, after painting them. But no, definitely I think characters, because they're such pinnacle points of your force now, because you know your force tends to revolve around it. If you've got say Necrons, your Cryptek and your Overlords, you tend to have a bubble. It's the same with well, any faction, you'll have your Overlord and they'll be surrounded by a cadre of troops, just so you can give them the buffs. So I feel like a revamp of characters is definitely required. I'd like to see more new characters. We've got Primaris out now. So,
yeah, Primaris characters have been. I mean, Space Marines have a lot of characters as it is. They have so many. So, main one, Abaddon. Abaddon's model is, you know, closing in to older than me. It's not really.
Overdue for a rehaul. I think.
The big money himself. He could really do with a bit of that. There's many of them. I mean, they redid Eldred Ulthen recently.
Yeah.
They redid Aramin, Karn, and they just like just these old models getting really cool stuff. Karn one's
He's
awesome.
the big boy though, isn't he? He needs
But Abaddon, you know, it's some needs to. So yeah, I'd like to see characters, and I'd like to see a year of like they do like a month and maybe they do some stuff there. You know, just focusing on maybe like, you know, some on Imperium, some on Chaos, some on Xenos, and I think that'd be really cool to bring some of the characters, get them awesome.
Do you know what I'd quite like to see? And I don't know how. Guaranteed, I think Games Workshop will do it. Death Company Primaris. Because they're saying that these are stronger Marines, they're this or that, but the flaw is the flaw.
Yeah, I don't know much of the Primaris lore. Like,
well, the
Blood Angel lore.
As far as I'm aware, the Primaris haven't, like Blood Angels Primaris haven't had the flaw manifest. As far as I'm aware, please correct me if that is wrong, because I'd love to read anything about that.
Yep.
But as far as I'm aware, there's been no manifestation of it. However, this is a deep, like, spiritual flaw. So I'm hoping that we get Death Company Primaris, because those models, oh my god, they would be insane. And just imagine 2-wound model Primaris Death Company with their Feel No Pain. Yes! That'd be amazing.
I think there's a lot of plans going on with Primaris. What are they going to do? Well, we'll probably find out. I imagine there's going to be an evolution of Primaris, but we'll just have to see where they take with that one.
It's their poster. It's the poster boy of Games Workshop, Space Marines, so they will get a lot of attention. So, well done, Games Workshop. I'm loving it.
So, last point I'd probably bring up is, what do you want to see us do in the channel? What do you want? Look, what's big thing in that one? What you know, if we could do anything we wanted, unrestrained, what would you want to bring? What would you want us to evolve to see us doing?
Well, I definitely want a bit of FaceTime with some of you, mainly because, as I said, I'm quite new, relatively speaking, in terms of the hobby. You get people that have played for years and years and years and years. I am quite excited to play new people.
Yeah.
And obviously we've been to Warhammer World, been on Warhammer TV. Obviously when you were there,
I have.
Didn't get a chance to actually get into the hall and play people and this and that. So I'd quite like to, if we're ever going back down there, which I'm sure we will.
Yep.
Would definitely like to get maybe a few of you folks and try our metal against you.
Well, it sounds like, I didn't really realise this, you know, you've only really played me, David, and a couple of our inner circle of people.
Absolutely.
You know, and so you like to get out a bit more, probably in the community, and speak to...
Absolutely, because I know David puts it about a bit. Rob's in tournaments and stuff.
Rob is in tournaments.
Yeah, you've had plenty of experience playing against other people, and I've just had you guys, so I'd love to get out.
Get some variety.
Yeah, see how I can do. So I'd quite like to do stuff like that. Obviously, I would love us to expand on what we've already got. So obviously terrain, you know, because we get comments about terrain all the time, like line of sight blockers and all the rest of it. So that's obviously.
It brings such a different aesthetic to each one.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially campaigns, it brings.
Yeah, because more. It's probably worth mentioning just to all you folks at home. We film across 2 locations, so a good whack of the terrain's in one location, a good whack of terrain's in another location, so it's hard to...
transporting that, plus all filming equipment, blah blah blah.
Absolutely, so I'd love to see more variety. We're slowly working on it. We're obviously working on our backing boards. Yep. We're working on more mats, more terrain, so it is getting there. We are getting there, but I would like to see more variation. Campaign as well, I'd like to get on board with that. Obviously I thought our campaign with for more, was it?
Yep, more,
I thought it was really good. So
it's good starting. We've got loads of, I think we've got a few ideas. I know we've talked back and forth on a few ideas, but certainly that gave us a couple of ideas for.
What about yourself?
In terms of what would I like us to do? So yeah, you're right in terms of community one. I'd like to get some other players. If we could, now we do film in more personal spaces, you know, it's mainly, you know, at the moment our houses. I would love for us, if we could afford it, have a studio where we could invite people to come on. We get quite a few requests from you guys if you could come on and possibly play us. Now, because we film in our own personal spaces, we prefer not to, because then you find out where we live, and and it's kind of in our houses, which it doesn't feel right. So I'd love to have a wee small studio that we could just invite people to come along, speak to us, play us, show their stuff, because we get a surprisingly amount of people who do ask.
Yeah,
but we when we started chatting, we're like, nah, we'll wait till we can we can get a studio in a nice professional place.
Absolutely, yeah. So don't take anything to heart if we say that we can't film with you. It's definitely nothing personal. We do want to play you guys and everything, but we need to get ourselves set up.
Yeah, and a bit more professional. Like that's kind of what we need to. So that'd be good on that side. What would I like to see? Dark Elder.
Of course you would.
That is the #1 answer. Always Dark Elder, which will happen in time. I would love to see Age of Sigmar. I absolutely loved fantasy.
I think you were more fantasy than...
I was more of a fantasy player in 40k when I finally got into it, so it was more Storm of Chaos, and then we started again when we did, I played Vampire Counts. Of course I played Vampire Counts, Dark Elder, Vampire. So, I got really into that, and then obviously they stopped fantasy. I was like, what's going on? And then Age of Sigmar has evolved into its different game. Quite interesting. I've only ever played one game of it, so I've not really had a huge chance, but the more the models come out, the more interesting they are. The new Black Coach model is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a model that is at least 20 years old, nearly, give or take a few years. So really good to see that as a new model. Some just stellar stuff and different, but I do love 40k because I'm still working towards my goal of Dark Elder. But I just want to give Age of Sigmar a try. We've seen it now evolve to the game it is, and I'd love to give it a wee bit of a bash.
No, absolutely. They are really. Don't get me wrong. The Deepkin were a bit of a curveball for me, but the more I look at them, the more it adds a comedy side for me. Sharknado!
Yeah, but I remember when we spoke about it, I remember this faction, because we fought over this, was Kahadron Overlords.
Yes, this is true.
We were both like...
Space Dwarves!
Space Dwarves, so we were both like, oh, well, I was like, I'm really interested in Kahadron Overlords. You're like, no, Ross. No.
You got Skitari, man.
yeah, I think you wanted Skitari as well.
I did, yeah.
So I won that one, but so we had a good argument about that.
To be honest, you could probably have them. I'd give you them. I'd quite like the Witch Elves. They look awesome.
Morthai has 2 modes, which might be something interesting to see. And that's something I saw someone discuss, I can't remember who. They talked about when Morthai came out and she has 2 modes, she can turn into a different creature. That'd be interesting in 40k, someone talked about that. If Leman Russ came out, if he had a Wolfen mode, he had his regular mode, he unleashed, that's how they do it in 40k.
That would be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool, and Morthai was the sort of idea in that one. I think she was the original one that did the dual sort of forms. I think they've done it with 1 model since then. But it'd be interesting to see that. Sorry, complete tangent. But yeah, no, the Witch Elf ones is a really cool faction. I like that a lot. Generally, just the new models they have brought out. Not a fan of Stormcast Eternal.
Oh, I quite like them.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But I do like the undead and everything.
I know you
Dark
do.
Elder undead. It's not my personal taste. I don't play loyalists. So.
Oh yeah, that's probably just. Actually, I was going to say that's just me, loyalist through and through. But Witch Elves are hardly loyal, are they?
No, they are technically their order, but they don't really count.
Yeah, they don't really
They've got their own things. I think Morthai unleashed or helped unleash Slanesh, or Slanesh is going to get released because it was captured. Spoilers. Morthai revealed something, I think, and is going to release. So they've pushed the storyline where they're like Slanesh has been captured or something, and now there's like evolution of will Slanesh come out, and that'll be very interesting for their storyline.
It's probably given you a bit of an insight into probably the person that I am. I'm a slave to my conscience.
Okay.
So in terms of always choosing loyalists, I always feel like I can't be on the bad side because they do nasty things.
I'm always on the bad guys.
Yeah, so I can't do it. I feel too guilty.
Yeah, I'm always like 90% of the times I play. What do I play? Orcs, Admech, and no, I play Necrons, Admech, and Chaos. Predominantly, so Necrons and Chaos, and then Admech can be Dark Mechanicum.
Yeah.
I play a lot of Traitors, that's kind of my thing, the bad guys.
No, I always like I like my loyalists, man, through and through.
So yeah, that was interesting to hear what we think what we want to see in the channel. So yeah, what we've covered. How we know each other, you know, many years, nearly 10 years now. Me and David, it's even longer. I think me and David have known each other.
That'll probably be an even longer chat for another time.
Yeah, I think 2001 we met Rob actually through the channel, so that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see his journey, how he, was introduced to us. I'll be very interested to hear his view of watching us and then becoming a full-fledged member as well, which will be very interesting. What else did we cover? Our history in terms of games watching. I didn't know you really didn't get into tabletop. I did not know that.
Yeah, well, now you do.
There you go. And then obviously.
I only pretend to know what, dude.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Well played. And sort of things we're hoping to see in the future.
Absolutely.
So, hope that gives you a bit more information about us. We may have gone on a little bit there. It was a bit of an informal talk, so we just wanted to throw something out that was a bit about us rather than us rolling dice and you see, us talk about battle reports. Have a bit more of our personality and get to know us a wee bit. What I'd suggest is possibly put some comments, let us know if there's anything you want us to speak about. I think if we are going to do another one of these, it'll either be probably either David and Rob or me and David's, but me and David's one will go on for forever because we've known each other
so long.
So that'll be quite a long. But let us know if there's anything you want to know about us, anything you want to know, what we hope to see in the future, etc. Let us know what you guys would also like to see in the future, both through the evolution of 40k, Age of Sigmar, various games there, or for the channel. We're always interested to hear what you guys are interested in because we read it and we do try and plan towards stuff. We've got a lot of suggestions for campaigns at the moment. So we try and work towards what people want to see. Exactly.
So we can only do that if you let us know. So please leave a comment if you do want to see anything. If you want us to discuss anything, as Ross was saying. Again, let us know, and we will aim and try our very best to get that done for you.
Perfect. Thanks again. Please comment, share, like, and subscribe. Check us out on social media, on Patreon, and see what we're up to as well. And we'll see you on our Tabletop Assault Battle Report.